between figuring out what you're supposed to be doing and doing it, and mega success and the next mega success. There's like, if they're rungs on the ladder, if the success or the handholds, and there's a gap between each handhold. What are you doing? What are you doing? Tell me.
Well, I think there's kind of an internal ladder, and then there's an external ladder. The internal ladder is just trying to be a better writer, trying to find new ways to challenge myself creatively, trying to find new ideas, deeper ideas, more difficult topics. So for me, that's always kind of been the thing that keeps me excited. A lot of times I ask, like what feels challenging, what feels difficult? Like, I don't want to just write the same thing over and over again. On a more external ladder is, again, these days, because everything plays out so much online, like you can very much kind of track how you're doing via metrics online, like how much traffic is your site getting? How many shares have you gotten? If you're publishing on others, like if you're syndicating on other sites, how many page views are the articles getting? How much are you getting paid for each article? Like, those are all things that you can work to improve on from an external standpoint. But it's ultimately the creative process. It's just, at this point, I've done it for so long, I don't even realize that I do it. It's kind of like, she's like breathing and eating breakfast, like it's like what I do. So basically, my mornings, I've noticed that I'm most productive and most creative in the morning. So generally my mornings are kind of sacred. It's only reading and writing, and afternoons are for everything else. And I try to maintain that. Generally, I get 2 to 3 hours of writing in per morning. A lot of times less than that, because I get distracted or procrastinate. Every once in a while, if I'm having a really, really good day, I'll do more than that. But generally, it's like if I've got 3 good hours of writing, my brain's kind of fried by that point anyway. So I used to, when I was younger and I think less experienced, I used to fall into the trap of like just pushing myself through the burnout, like, fuck this, 1,000 more words, let's go. And it just, what I discovered is that pushing yourself, when it comes to creative energy, producing bad work actually creates more work than just doing nothing. So it's like if I write 10 pages that are really bad, I not only did I waste the time it took to write those 10 pages, but now I created more work for myself, because I'm going to have to go back and decide if anything in that is worth keeping or not. So I've kind of learned that, like, as soon as my brain is kind of like my creative juice is gone for the day, I just hang it up, and I don't feel guilty or beat myself up over it. And yeah, it's crazy. I was thinking about this just a couple months ago, but like I've basically been writing almost every day, almost every weekday, since like 2009, 2010. And it just adds up. Like you don't think about it, right? Like and there's so much intangible value that comes from that repetition and that grinding and just getting in those reps. And so I think there's a lot of it can't be measured. It's like what I've consistently found is that whenever I go and read something that I wrote more than 3 or 4 years ago, I like cringe a little bit. I'm like, ugh, that's bad. Like, somebody should have cut that sentence. Like, what the fuck was my editor thinking?
Which one of you fuckers would know?
Yeah, exactly. But I like having that feeling. I don't want to ever lose that feeling, because that means I'm improving. And I think that kind of intangible improvement, it really just comes from the repetition.